G'day guys, welcome to another episode of the Pumped On Property Show. Now in today's episode I sit down with a good friend of mine and a very successful investor named Tim. Now what I love about Tim is he's completely obsessed with property. In fact, over the last 5 years alone, he's taken an original $3,000 deposit and completely changed his and his wife's life forever. Now in today's podcast, Tim talks about his journey and the way that he grew up in South Australia to walking us through each of his projects that he's done to date, including a whole bunch of incredible duplexes and his ideas for some incredible boarding houses in Victoria down the line.
All right, sorry.
No, that's just going to be in. Let's go. We're not editing anything there.
Oh, good.
So
let's go,
to the
bro.
potty.
Good to meet you finally.
So we've been mates and talking now for most of the last 4 years, pretty much via text message, outside of maybe a couple of phone calls outside of the last few months.
I think, yeah, maybe I had like one call a year or something. So how's everything going, you know?
It's actually crazy because this is the first time we've sat down in person. But it's beautiful to have you here for a whole bunch of reasons, which we'll talk about down the line. But you've come up from South Australia to the sunny coast for a little bit of a holiday. Slash a monster change in career. Like you're going to be joining us at Pumped On Property very soon.
It's
next Monday.
Crazy.
Which is honestly my dream come true, and you guys are going to hear why really soon, just because there's no one in Australia that I've met that's as OCD and obsessed about this stuff as I am. It's nice to have another kindred spirit by my side.
Yeah, true. That's the same. Like I've got heaps of friends that are interested, but they're not like researching late at night, like doing stupid stuff.
Why are you in your spreadsheet again? It's 2 a.m, babe.
Yeah.
It's like, come to bed and it's like, oops, I lost track of time.
I'm just trying to do one more scenario. Yeah.
So let's sort of talk, I suppose, about the future first. Like when you shut your eyes and go, where could I be based on everything working out for me in 5 to 15 or 20 years from today? Like what does the dream look like down the line, and how does property play its part in that for you?
I think the dream's the same as everyone's, like passive income, free time, do what you want, do hobbies, stuff like that. But I've got specific dreams, like there's a piece of land, for example, the southern beaches of Adelaide, which is just like, it's got a view of the hills and the beach, sunsets on the beach. It's like...
Is it flat or is it elevated and the hills are just high and the beach is lower?
It's dead flat on the top of a cliff.
Wow.
And then you can like get like a quad bike and ride down to the beach. That's like the dream.
That sounds like my dream now as well.
And it's like 4 hectares as well. So it's a pretty big piece of land.
Yeah.
But like that's the dream. And
I'm assuming that ain't cheap even in Adelaide.
It is cheap compared to what it would be here. It'd be like, I'm going to have to talk to the owner directly, I think. I'll have to send him a letter or something stupid.
Handwritten letter.
I think it'll be about 1.5 mil for the land.
Okay.
With a house though, with a decent house.
See, that sounds phenomenal to everyone else on the east coast of Australia right now.
South Australia is where it's at. Like,
it is so
it's
beautiful.
so underrated, which is good though. It keeps it quiet.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, the southern beaches is immaculate. The sand's white. It's like, yeah, I like having the full season. Like a lot of people don't necessarily. They like the balmy weather, like sunny coast. But I like the cold, the Arctic winds, the boiling summers. You know, like the nice autumns and the springs.
So you're quad biking down to the beach from this beautiful property. You know, what else does the future look like for you?
Yeah, my wife Amy and I are going to have some kids, so they'll be coming down on the quad. I was thinking a golf cart could work as well, you know, just like on the way down at least, trying to get back up.
You have to leave it at the bottom because it will not get up the hill.
To tow it back up.
Yeah,
something like that. I think it's interesting though, because like I've taken holidays before where I just do nothing on purpose. And yeah, I feel like I need to do something that gives me purpose. And I feel like I'm doing something or achieving something. So whether that's helping friends buy property, which is what I've been doing a lot, which I enjoy a lot, and it helps them too, which is cool. Or whether it's just like volunteering somewhere like food bank or at church or something like that. I feel like I'd have to do something like that to keep myself occupied. Also maintaining the land would take a bit of time too.
Yeah, without a doubt. As someone who's just moved on to that size piece of land, there's way more going on than I want to admit still. And
Okay.
I haven't accepted that properly yet.
Maybe I need to experience that before I plunge.
Oh man, you know, the cool thing about financial freedom is I just use some of that income to pay for a garden to come in 1 day a week, and he does a lot of the heavy
All the
lifting for me.
mowing and stuff.
Yeah, the mowing, he works garden bed at a time. If I want to put some rock down or some mulch down,
That's sweet. Yeah.
trims all the trees. Like, it's pretty cool. Like what someone can do full time in 1 day a week.
That's a good point. Yeah.
It takes away a lot of the joy of looking after a property, but my time at the moment is just going into my business and helping a small number of people each week or my family. And if not that, surfing or training. So it's like there's only so much you can do at every stage of life.
I feel like I'll be the same. Like I want to be playing tennis 3 times a week, like I currently do. But also, you know, we'll have kids, so we'll have to balance that as well, I think. But yeah, having financial freedom, I guess you could get like a nanny in 1 day a week as well to help out.
Is there a financial goal that you have that's not related to the value of your home debt-free? Because obviously that's a goal to own that beautiful place at some point, own that, right? But is there, like, I always thought at your age, you know, how cool it'd be to have 200 grand a year or 100 grand. Is there a number, or is it more like I'm just going to work the assets up and then let future you make that decision of whether you sell them or keep them?
It's very structured and I think about it all the time.
Oh, good, man. That's what I was hoping you'd say.
There is not a particular number because it keeps changing with inflation.
Yeah.
But I would say like our living costs at the moment is about 70 grand
Yeah.
a year. So we want that to start off with, ideally before we have kids. So
I miss that pre-kid living.
Oh,
cost.
yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. We want 70 grand. That would mostly replace Amy's income and then we can sort of stabilise. But I think 200 plus is where the freedom would come in, I'd say. Because then you've got like, your living cost is 70, we're rent vesting at the moment. So that includes like $550 a week rent, which is probably cheap these days. Sam's looking at me like, yeah.
Seems like I've got cheaper rent.
He's probably got free rent or something. Yeah. But I think, over 200, probably about the right mark.
Beautiful. And how do you tie purpose, service, calling, meaningful work, plus that incredible lifestyle? Because you're extremely lifestyle freedom driven, the same as myself. Like, it's not necessarily about the money or even that piece of land. It's like living the way that you were created and born to live.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Like, my main priority, and now Amy's main priority, is to buy our time back. That's the first thing, because I don't want to be a slave to the 9 to 5. But I guess like values comes into it, like being blessed to be a blessing is something really important to me. And Mum taught me that young. Always be generous on every occasion. Like, put money aside so that you got no excuse not to be generous. Like, I used to have this like pink ANZ card that's called the generous card, you know.
I love that.
Just smack that one down.
Yeah.
But I just want to be able to give to people as I go.
I just want to say how unique that is. Like, obviously not in the circles that you roll in. Like, that's something that you've been taught as part of how you live. But it's very easy. Like, I was not generous with my money when on my journey to where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
Since I've gotten closer to where I wanted to be, I have been like financially generous. But I think it's really impressive that you're still working towards where you want to be, but you're being super kind with, like, not just your time and knowledge, but your cash flow as well. Like, it's sort of I delayed that, and I think when we spoke a couple of weeks ago and you told me that you were doing that, I'm like, that's just so beautiful. Hey,
oh, thanks, man.
I think it's a really cool thing. It's just, but the more you have to give as well.
That's true. Yeah. Like, I remember one of my early goals was like, I want to live off 0.1% of the income, which would work out to be huge, right? But then you're just giving away the rest. Yeah. You're giving away the rest of it, which is an insane goal, but we'll get there eventually. I think, like, I don't even know how much, I should work it out. I don't even know how much that would need to be, but yeah.
Someone put it in the comments.
Yeah, probably. I'll probably put it in myself.
Yeah, work it out, chuck it in, 100%.
Yeah. But yeah, it's probably one of the most important values I have, I think. It's being generous.
So where did this all begin? Like, what was life growing up in South Australia like?
I grew up in a place called Waikerie. Well, I was born in Waikerie, which is in the Riverland of South Australia. It's like a desert.
Like if Adelaide's there, which was the only point I knew before I spent 3 months in.
So Adelaide's like in the middle, and then just drive 3 hours east towards
Okay.
the border.
Yeah.
And that's where I grew
The
up.
border of WA or Vic?
Border of Vic and SA.
Cool.
Yeah. Near a place called Mildura, kind of, and Renmark. But yeah, I grew up on like a fruit block. We had like, I don't know, probably a couple hectares or something. Stone fruit like plums, apricots. So
Very
good.
cool.
I loved it out there actually. And when I was like 12, we moved to Loxton, which is a town nearby. Then we lived in town, but didn't like that as much because, you know,
The
open
freedom was
spaces.
gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I ended up chatting to one of my neighbours who had like a big block of land across the road. And she was like an older lady, and we sort of became friends. She was like 90 or something.
I had Miss Martin in my street, was just the same. We just used to go and raid her house all the time.
Oh, nice.
She just let us in as kids,
That's
as an
sweet.
older 70, 80-year-old.
Yeah, because I asked her if I could use some of her garden to grow veggies. She was like apprehensive, but then she was like, actually, yeah, why not?
That's so
And then we
cool.
became friends, and I'd like go over for like a cup of tea after school and
She would
stuff.
love that.
Yeah, it was good. I liked listening to her stories and wisdom and stuff as well.
Yeah.
And just chilling out in the garden. But yeah, grew up liking around agriculture, and so ended up studying agriculture. My dad's into ag. He's like, that's actually all he's done, to be honest. He grew up on a sheep farm, then did ag,
Yeah,
which is
beautiful.
great. And then moved to Adelaide, did ag. I enjoyed ag, but also and decided the business side was more interesting, like agribusiness.
Yeah.
And then I worked for Elders Insurance, which is a insurance company that does like farming a lot.
Yeah,
So
see
that's
the
kind of
wheels
the
starting to
connection
turn here.
to get
Yeah.
in there. But yeah, it's just like growing up in SA was awesome. I love SA, but I probably love Adelaide more than the Riverland, if I'm honest, because it's just more to do in the beach. Man, I love the beach.
100%.
So, yeah.
You know, I spent some time down there in 2023, 2024, so I spent a lot of time on the York Peninsula,
Oh, sweet.
the Eyre Peninsula,
Mm.
in Robe. Oh man, Robe.
Robe's insane.
Robe is actually insane. It's like the Maldives meets the cobblestone streets of like Italy and England. I'm like, this place doesn't make any sense. What's going on?
It actually doesn't make sense. It's very, very popular, and it's so far away from everything.
Yeah.
Like only caravanners, I guess, would go there,
Yeah.
or people that know about it. But yeah, there's that. What's that beach called? It's just insane. It's just so long.
Oh, like at Robe and
Yeah.
you full drive down it?
Yeah, you four drive down it.
Yeah.
It just keeps going forever. I like the sand of South Australia. It's all pure white. It's very soft. Like up here, it's more like orange and gritty.
A bit coarse.
If you have to be like a little bit picky. It's
I
beach
get it.
is a beach though. Yeah.
And so was there a moment as you were growing up where you started to get more interested in investing that you can distinctly remember? Or was it as you went through uni and started to learn more about economics and business that you were kind of like, okay?
Had an interesting upbringing because we actually lost heaps of money in the GFC, our family. So that was heaps tough, and so that's where we started to learn about money because we didn't have any
Sure.
for a bit.
Do you mind like talking about what happened, like the investment lesson out of it?
So yeah, I don't mind. It was more like we had like a business selling fertilizer, like a family business, and it was to do with the US and Australian dollar and that crashing. So yeah, I think it was like
It was almost, Australian dollar was higher for a small period of time than the US, which would have mean like they weren't buying stuff for 50 cents in the dollar anymore from us.
yeah, I think it was like we would have bought like let's just say $10,000 worth of fertilizer, but we could only sell it here for like $2,000.
Wow.
And we had like a big back order of it, and you couldn't get out of it, so you kind of just screwing ourselves. But the problem was that it bounced back quickly, and then like I don't know, 6-12 months later, it was like even higher. So you could have sold it for like I don't know, like 15,000. So it was just bad timing and didn't work out well. But in hindsight, there's lots of lessons from bad things happening. So yeah, my sister and I were still at home, and so we learnt a lot of financial stuff as we were teenagers, because Mum would sort of share a bit with us doing the finances, and yeah, it became a thing. So that's probably maybe one of the reasons that my sister also got into property. She got in a bit before me. Maybe that's why, actually, come to think of it.
It's kind of like, you know, I grew up in a home where there wasn't a whole lot of money like most people who had 80s parents and stuff like that. That was just like, it was just really tough, those times I had to go through. And then my dad started a business when I was much older, and it turned around a lot. And Simon sort of got a lot more of that household than I did.
So,
and I think I got into investing because I'm like, I just like, I go shopping once or twice a year at Best and Less, like, and we'd lay my stuff at Best and Less, and I was just like, I just want a pair of Billabong boardies.
Oh yeah.
And I remember, like, I got a second-hand pair for a Christmas once, and I took off the tag and sewed it on my lightning bolt pants for like 4 years, bro.
So you thought you could fake it a bit?
Yeah,
sweet.
And I think a big part of me wanting to invest was because of that experience of like those lessons of like, I just didn't, like, I knew that I didn't want to eat Devon and Spam.
Did you say Spam? No way.
There was honestly some times when it was like, we're doing Spam, and Mum would be like, we're putting a bit of, and I don't mean to disrespect my parents because they got through a very tough time, like, and there's many people that have been through way worse, but it's like a bit of Spam cooked in the oven with, just because you put pineapple on it doesn't make it any better.
Okay, wow.
And I was just like, I just knew like that I wanted different choices, and I think that's why I was so interested in investing at the start, to like, maybe it wasn't even for my kids, it was really just to run away from that experience and have a different one.
I think so too.
At the start.
I think it's with all parents and kids. It's like you either really love something about your parents and then you decide to do that. Yeah. There's heaps of things that my parents, that I was like, that's a great way to live.
Big time, me too.
And then there's some things like, that was heaps hard. I don't want my kids to go through that or myself again.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was good lessons. And so that got me interested. And I started off with like a bit of stock investing, like in uni when I had no money.
Yeah.
And had some big wins, and like big wins as in like $600, you know, let's go. Like,
yeah.
And some like just lose everything. Like I remember getting into crypto in the 2017 at the top. Like I couldn't have bought it.
26,000 or whatever.
Or 20 grand USD. It was just like, but I wasn't gone into just Bitcoin. It was like freaking, what was there? It's just like Sia coin. I was going to red coin, deep brain chain. Like there's some crazy. That's supposed to revolutionize the hospital industry.
Yeah,
but it just died.
Guys,
yeah. So that was a good lesson too. Kind of screwed myself there actually. Like I worked a gap year on a potato farm to like help pay for uni, to live. Spent like half of that on crypto.
Old coins. Are any of these coins still around? I don't even know.
No, they're still around, but they're zero. Pretty much as close to zero as possible. I was looking at it the other day. It's so funny.
If a coin goes from 1 cent to 2 cents, and I'm sure people are still making money on these penny coins.
Yeah, you could trade, but it's generally going down. It's super risky, but yeah, I should have just kept Ethereum or Bitcoin or something, but no one thinks like that. Just like get in there and make a 3x, like come on. Yeah. So yeah, that was kind of the start, and then to get into property itself, one of my friends was like, hey, I've heard there's this like COVID grant coming out to buy a piece of land and build a house. It was like, in South Australia, you could get 15 grand normally, and then the COVID one was another 25 on top. So 40 grand to go build a house, because the building industry was like suffering. They probably were for like 3 months until they went ballistic and couldn't even build the houses properly.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. I think for a brief time before that, I was like, I don't want to be in debt ever. I'm just going to do like FIRE.
Yeah.
You know that.
FIRE's appealing when you're earning 20 or 30 grand a year, and you're like, hang on, this sounds really good. And I'm like, I'm already on the border's edge of starvation every week anyway. Yeah. It's like, I'll just continue with this lifestyle. I think I did a lot of FIRE for about my first 2 to 3 years out of uni as well.
Nice. Yeah. I thought of that, and then I was like, it was interesting because I decided to do a property when I was still at uni. I got 8 months to go. Didn't have a job. So I was like, I had this piece of land under contract for like 5 months. And then I got my job kind of 2 months, like 2 months before it was to settle. So a lot of faith in that. Like, I'm just like, yeah, it'll happen. Like, she'll be right. The piece of land was like 125
all
grand.
on the line.
Yeah.
Wow. And
at the time, I had 3 grand in my bank. I was like, yeah, she'll be right, you know?
I love that.
And so like I was flipping cars. I was buying them at auction, and flipping them for like, I don't know, $2,000, $3,000 profit each.
That's how you got the deposit.
Yeah. That's it. That's how I got the deposit.
So
And
how much of that 40 was able to go into the land versus how much of that had to be given back to the builder as a builder's grant? Can you remember, like in the COVID grants you were able to access?
I think 15. Oh no, it had to be a house and land package. I think,
okay, yeah.
together. So that's the way the broker would do it.
So 125 for the land. Can you remember what the building contract was roughly?
Yeah, 220.
Okay,
But that was for a house on poles on a cliff. This block was not flat. It was flat here and then a cliff face here, but the views would have been insane. And anyway, there's an interesting story behind this. Like, I got close to settlement. I felt real uncomfortable that this builder was screwing me around a bit.
Yeah.
Because it seemed too cheap. I would quote this builder, they were like 220. Go to a different builder, they were like 380.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the heck's going on here?
It's a big discount.
That made me really scared. So what I did is I ended up going into the office and I was like, you guys are screwing me here. Sitting up for myself, and then cancelled the contract. Then I was like, I've got this land under contract with my deposit on the line. How can I get out of that? Because it was already like 4 months into settlement. That doesn't really happen. This block was already hard to sell because it was on a cliff. So essentially I just wrote a really, I guess, emotional email to them and say like, this builder screwed me over. Can I please get out of this contract? Like, you know what? Like, you can keep my deposit. It's all good. It's just like, please give it back if you can. Like, but yeah, it was a miracle that they actually gave it back.
Beautiful.
Like the agent I was dealing with, the sales agent, he said, in my 20 years, I've never seen anyone do anything like this.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, that's insane, right? Why would you give it back? I've just wasted their time for 4 months.
Yeah.
Anyway, they later sold it for like 250, so I think they're happy. But yeah, so that was my first thing. It's nice when things
work out like that though as well.
I think that was God 100%, because yeah, I would have been trapped in that. If I had, the build would have everything would have cost like, I don't know, 380 or something. But it would have blown out. It would have blown out to like 550 for the total build, and then I just would have been stuck with a half-finished house. Mm. Yeah, so that would have been terrible.
You ever seen Lemony Snicket's, that movie with Jim Carrey in it? A series of unfortunate events?
No, I haven't.
I'm just picturing it. For anyone that's seen it, there's this lady that's scared of everything living on this cliff, literally cliff, and it's just poles with this tiny little home at the top. Yeah. And it sways in the wind and it ends up falling over, but I'm just thinking that's what you would have built for 220k.
No, it was actually a banger. 4-bed, 2-bath with a deck. It would have been insane if it was real. Like,
if it was real.
If it,
what was in it for him to not have it real? Like,
do you know what?
A cheap contract and blow the contract up after on variation.
Yeah, that's what some builders like to do that. In hindsight, though, they were one of the only pole builders in SA which build on poles. Yeah. In Queensland, they do it all the time, but usually it's slab on ground. So, in hindsight, I actually think they may have been right, and I might have just freaked out because if they're the only pole builders and these other guys are doing a slab, like suspended slab, which is super expensive. Anyways, there was risk. Like, there was rock that the neighbour said it was like 60 grand. I was like, oh crap, I got to get out of this. Anyways, probably the key that set me apart, or to like helped my journey, is that I didn't give up then. I was just like, I got to find something else. Mm-hmm. So we ended up buying in Mount Barker, which is like a booming city, really. They've just like, it was a little town, and now it's like, we've set aside like the whole town.
15, 20,000 people. What's it booming town in South Oz?
Oh, 20,000, yeah. What is it here, like 20 people?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like the biggest outside of Adelaide in the hills.
Wow, beautiful.
Yeah. But yeah, such a beautiful spot there. You drive in over a lake and go all the way up a hill. It's like...
Actually, when I was down there like last year with some mates and our families, I spent some time in Adelaide Hills. I thought it was the Barossa. I didn't realise how different.
It's pretty much the same.
I'm like, this is heaven up here, dude. It is so pretty.
My wife's parents live in Hahndorf, which is like the tourist town.
Yeah,
the German town.
I went there, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I loved it too.
Hahndorf is pretty sweet. It's like...
just the craftsmanship in that town is
cool.
Yeah,
it's really cool. They do like the akubras there and stuff.
Just the German clocks and all that weird stuff. Because my grandmother was Dutch, like I just enjoyed it. Yeah.
There's heaps of history there. But yeah, just...
So you've gotten out of this contract.
this new one.
incredibly well. And so what happened from there? When was your next step into investing again?
It was like about 6 weeks later.
Yeah.
I was like, I got to keep trying, I bought a piece of land in Mount Barker.
I love this, on another hill.
Yeah, it was actually, but it was flat. It was benched and retained this time. It was on a hill though.
All the cheap land always is.
Yeah, but it was a banger. Like that was like had a view of Mount Barker.
Wow.
And it had that fancy sort of like drive over a lake. I loved it. It felt really peaceful in there.
Was that through the grant again, or had the grants dried up by that
I
point?
was super lucky again. The grant had dried up in December, and I could only buy this next one in like February.
Okay.
But they extended the grant but lowered it 10 grand. So I got 15 plus 15 instead of 15 plus 25.
Yeah, still a monster help. And you're working by this point again.
And I was working, so it was easier. But yeah, that block was like 145 grand.
Wow.
Which was disgusting. Because now it's like,
back.
when you look back, like hindsight's lovely.
What would it be worth today, roughly, the land?
The land only? I'd say like 320.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's doubled in a bit. Pretty much everything in Adelaide's doubled. But yeah, there was that one, and then we built the house. The house took ages because all the builders have been like taking on billions of projects because of the grant. But luckily our builder was smart and they just took on what they should have.
That's awesome.
A little bit extension, but they were okay. Really high quality build. We built like a 3-bed, 2-bath, big rooms. Filled up the block. I'm pretty sure, it was like, the rule for council is like 60% of the block you can fill with the house. Pretty sure we ended up getting to like 75%.
Okay.
I think they just allow it
certify.
sometimes. Yeah. But no backyard, just a nice house.
Big disclaimer there for everyone, they don't allow it, but somehow you got it through.
I think they do allow it like per case, you know what I mean?
Case by case,
yeah.
So how big was the land size?
315 square meters.
Yeah, nice.
Pretty small, but good. Yeah.
Do you still own that one, or did you end up?
Yeah, we own everything at the moment, which is cool.
I love that.
And then the second thing is kind of through my wife. I was sort of super interested at this point. I was like, this is great. Like, obviously, because it's a great time, everything's going up. It's like,
whoa, it's what it works, this property thing.
Yeah, everything went up quickly. And so that allowed us to do, it was just me at that time. I wasn't married. It allowed me to be like, I'm just going to do another one, And so I put 4 blocks on hold in the neighbouring estate.
I want 4 more.
I had 4 on hold just for me. And that was like
can you service? No more.
I was just doing one at a time, but like try and buy more.
I love that.
They weren't titled yet, so I could hold them.
You're on a graduate wage at this point still?
I was on like 65k.
Yeah.
Huge money.
Yeah.
But at the time, 65k, you could borrow like
life-changing.
600 grand, I think, at that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had 4 on hold, and I had this perfect plan, like a really nice 4-bed, 2-bath, butler's pantry, nice family home. Would have cost 620, and it would have been worth 850 straight away.
Wow.
And I had 4 of them, so I was like, this is easy.
I'm about to make a meal, baby.
Yeah. But then the interest rates went up 11 times in like 12 months. Remember that? And so I started getting priced out of being able to afford it.
Yeah. Because it didn't just affect the cash flow, it affected all of our servicing big time as well.
The borrowing capacity dried up big time. And me and Amy weren't comfortable to go in together at the time because we weren't engaged yet. We were just like dating or whatever. And so that kind of destroyed that idea. It was like my broker at the time's like, yeah, we can do it if you just like, borrow 50 grand from your parents and have no money. I was like, nah, that's way too risky. Actually, at the time we were about to get engaged and married sort of thing.
So did you end up keeping any of them, or you just let the holds go?
I had to let them all go.
Got your deposits back and they resold them? Probably for a good profit again.
Yeah, I had to I got all my deposits back. It was only a hold. It was like 2 grand per block. Isn't that crazy? These days it's like minimum 10% unconditional. I'm like, are you crazy?
No hold.
So yeah, it would have been a banger. Like, if they had cost 620, they would have been worth like $1 million now for one of them.
Beautiful.
But
right idea, just wrong
right
timing.
idea, didn't work though. Instead though, I didn't like give up. Actually, I was talking to you guys at that point. That's when I called Simon, had the strategy session, talked about doing something in Brisbane, north, I think. When we 2022 were we buying?
I would have been still
Redcliffe or something?
doing a little bit around Redcliffe, Margate, probably stuff around Bray Park and that, and we were starting to slide heavy into Logan, bit of Ipswich as well.
Because I was super interested in that, but I didn't like the cash flow. Because to me, one of my main things is I want to work my job, save all the money from my job, and use that for lifestyle. And property should recycle into itself, which means we don't put any money in since the first one, and that's it. That's the goal, and that's kind of what we've been doing.
So you're talking about cash flow week to week, plus the first one is the golden goose that's giving the equity for the next ones. Like no personal cash down. Yeah,
so that $3,000 has turned into an insane amount, right? So it started at that, and so that was the plan. And so the reason we didn't want to go Brisbane was the cash flow was like negative 10K before tax. So it might have been negative 8.
I remember you and Simon having those convos, and he's like, there's just this legend from South Oz, which we all knew at the time, but it was kind of like, it just wasn't quite working out. I think it ended up resulting in a call of like, hey, this just isn't for you, which I think is the cool thing about, you know, only needing to work with a tiny number of people per week as a business. It's like most of it's just helping push another way, or you're like, hey, I've got this better idea, and it's like, we can't fault that, go for that.
Yeah, and that's what I really love about Pumped on Property is because you guys, like if a lot of people would be pissed off, like Simon spent a couple hours with me on the phone, you know, invested time into helping me, but he didn't care. He's like, just do your thing, like encouragement, like there was no pressure for me to feel bad for taking his time or anything, you know, and he was very happy. It's not like he cut off connection to me after. So
what did you guys go and find?
So this was really interesting. We found
this is 22, you said?
2022. So our borrowing capacity was not big enough to do anything. I think we had like 650. We could have done something, I guess. But at this point, Amy and I are married. But we were thinking of a duplex, right? The reason was we found this company that like does it all for you. And like the returns were like ridiculous, and they were fake as well. We found out later.
Anything that's too easy in this game generally ends up being too easy.
Pretty much. It was like, I know, 1.3 mil, it should be worth 1.9 in today's market. And then
600 grand jump.
600 grand, yeah, straight away.
That's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable, but it is possible. But it's not possible through those kind of avenues. Anyways, we got bad vibes on the phone with him. And at this point, we're thinking like me, Amy, and a friend of ours, we're going to do like a joint venture. And so we went through them and they're like, nah. Then we found another company and we really got along with the guy that did the duplexes. But then we spoke to the director and we're like, oh.
Getting a different vibe.
Different vibe too. Then we're like, why don't we just do it ourselves? So I was like calling around the sunny coast. I don't know why. Actually now, the sunny coast is like the Olympics. That was the sort of like, we should do it up there because the Olympics should...
10 years time, there's the games.
Yeah. And also like Brisbane and Adelaide run hand in hand in terms of growth. And we already had one in Adelaide, so why not diversify a bit? I remember calling around sunny coast. Every development, every piece of land, until like, just like, is this suitable for a duplex? They're like, I don't know, talk to council. I was like, fair enough. That's the right thing to say. But yeah, we're just calling around. Ended up calling a place in Palmwoods, which is the hinterland of the sunny coast.
Beautiful spot.
And yeah, I spoke to this sales lady and we had a good chat about, you know, like, I really like this piece of land. Could I do a duplex on it? And she was like, no, like, we only reserve duplexes for the builder and the developer himself. There's like a 10% maximum limit. So if you had 30 blocks, you could do 3 duplexes.
Which is very normal for every estate in Queensland.
Yeah.
Are they that tight on it in SA as well?
They don't care.
They just want to sell land.
Yeah, but they don't really do duplexes much. It's mainly like, there's one estate in South Australia where they're built as a duplex, but they're separate homes.
Okay.
Like, the land is together, and it's like the walls are bricked individually, but they're together.
Yep.
I'm like, there's nothing worse I could think of than that.
Sure.
Like, there might be a gap on either side, but yeah.
Well, yeah, you'll start driving around here, and that's how we've had to develop because the land's so expensive up here now.
Yeah, true. So I was calling around. This lady said to me, like, you know what, like, I like the sound of you though. I'll give the developer a call and see if he, you know, I don't know, you can have a chat to him. She called the developer. He said, no, I want to do the duplex myself, and I want our builder to do it as well. He wants to keep it for himself.
More margin for them, I get it.
Yeah, they'll get heaps of money out of that. So she called me back, and I was like, oh, that's all good, no worries. And then I started talking about, I really want to do a high-end duplex. I want like tall ceilings, skylights, nice one. She's like, you know what? Like, actually add, you know, let me just like call it back again. Let me just call him back one more time. Called him back, he's like, all right, 5 o'clock, have a chat to him, the developer. So I chatted with him for like an hour and a half.
And we were just like,
yeah, no, he was like super excited to help. Like, he was a really nice guy. He was like, you know what, my cousin's got one of these blocks on hold, which would be perfect for a duplex. Like, let me just call him and get it off hold for you. It's like, your cousin, like, come on, that's huge. He's like, you know, like, you're going to have to take a risk because it needs to go through an MCU, which is a material change of use, to a council.
Explain that in the quickest form.
It just means you have to like take ages. You have to take a punt on the build. You have to buy the land with a, I don't know, 10% chance it might not get approved as a duplex. But
build it and then retrospectively call it a duplex.
That's right.
Or roll the dice if you've built both and you just have to rent them out as one.
Yeah, which is a huge risk. We sort of thought, like, worst case, we can buy the block and then just resell it for a small loss.
Mm-hmm.
But it was scary, like hesitating. Yeah. It was good, though, because there was 3 of us, Amy, myself, and our friend. So that sort of spread the risk a bit. But big punt, we had to do everything ourselves. But luckily, this developer was like, look, I remember when I was in your shoes, I was doing a duplex, like, you know, 40, 50 years ago. It's like, you've got the right attitude. I want to help you out. Like, here's all the contacts you need. You go do it.
Yep.
I don't want to help you too much. Like, I will guide you a little, but...
The contacts are the help most of the time.
Exactly.
Like, if you find the person who knows what they're doing, then it's a dream.
Like, the builder was insane. They ended up building it in 4.5 months, a full duplex, and it was insane quality.
Can you remember who, just give me a shout out? Who was
it was a Sanks Construction up in Sunny Coast. They were just insane and lovely people as well. So they built this really beautiful duplex for us. But yeah, so that was just a huge amount of God's favor. I feel like that developer was like super keen because he could have made like 500 grand himself. Yeah. You know, like this block he could have done himself.
I feel like people like in that position though, you get to a point where it's no longer about money. A big part of it's about helping other people and pulling up the next group. And it's beautiful when you bump across them when you're early in your journey and they're late. Yeah. And it's just like they get excited and inspired by your energy because that energy is long gone for them. Yeah. And you get supported by someone who just really actually wants the best for you.
Which is awesome. Like we ended up meeting up with him and his wife and like had dinner and it was like really sweet. They live in like Palmwoods, I think, themselves. But yeah, it was such a great build in the end. We got the MCU through. It took like 4 months or something. Super complex though. You have to deal with the town planner. Issues come up. The neighbours were very against it, even though we're doing high quality duplex. It was like that little pocket is very high end. It's like
the right pocket.
Everyone wants to retire there kind of thing. So everyone was quite against it, but we got it through because, you know, we just high end. So it's like, it's okay if it's high end. But yeah, that was that one. And then, so that was like a couple of years ago.
Did you end up strata titling it, splitting it all up so you and your partner kept one and your mate kept one?
Yes.
When it was done?
And we had to pay stamp duty to do that, which was so annoying. But it was part of it, yeah.
That's just part of the cost of the development, so...
True,
But you cleaned up on that. Obviously, 22 was a good time. Like, between 22 and now, Sunny Coast has probably gone up another 30-40% in some suburbs.
What's interesting is while it was building, it took about, I don't know, we bought the land, we had it for 4 months, and then it took another 4.5, 5 months. So about, let's call it a year. It didn't grow at all. In fact, it was the very bottom of it that we bought into, which is cool. But yeah, we have cleaned up since. We only wanted to do a duplex that gave minimum 30% return on cost. So if it cost $1 million, we would make 300 grand.
Yep.
Which is a bit stupid. I've realised, not stupid, it's like a bit fussy.
It sort of has to be though, like 30% is a good margin to, if you're a small developer, to be working on.
Well, it's very rare, I'm finding now.
That's a unicorn.
It's a unicorn because most people will happily do one at 15 to 20%.
Yeah.
And we were doing
Those people are your competitors pricing you out a product.
The thing that I'm like very fussy on is it has to be minimum 30%, because I could do 2 full projects at 15% or just one at 30, and it's the same. What kind of? But yeah, so we did that, and yeah, any growth that you get on top of it makes it insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, really, really good decision. It felt very scary though, taking the risk on the land. Like it's like, oh, could be nothing.
It worked out.
Yeah, you gotta take a few risks, otherwise you're stagnant, I guess. But
yeah, and there's different appetites, right? Like I've done some what would be considered by others the same as yourself, very high risk stuff. I've done some extremely low risk stuff as well. Now I've got a very different temperament to what I had at 24 years of age, and so it's like, you know, people need to figure out what they really want most versus what they want in this moment and what they're prepared to trade. And generally high profits come with high degrees of uncertainty, high degrees of risk, high degrees of fear, anxiety and pressure.
Yeah.
And they don't always work out. Like I hear from talking to 6, 7, 8,000 investors now, like I hear the war stories of it. It works. It doesn't work out just as often as it does. So I think it's really cool that you're able to do that. But if you're not an individual doing that, that's prepared to take the punt, like the idea of a MCU it's so fucking high risk.
It's funny, yeah.
Unless you've got like the most phenomenal developer that's on board, builder that's on board, and town planner that has the relationships to get it done.
Yeah, well, he had already done it, right? The MCU in that estate, he'd done one down the street.
So we knew it could. Of concept there.
Yeah, it should be approved, but it was still uncertain. But yeah, it is risky, and like, it sounds like I'm taking silly risk, but I researched the crap out of this.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
Like when you're so niche and there's like one of you in that suburb in the market, it's where like my friends and a lot of people go, you're extremely high risk. I'm like, man, you've got zero idea the time that I put into figuring this stuff out before I do anything.
I'd stay up till like 2 a.m. every night just because I'm interested in thinking like through everything. Yeah. Like, it's fun for me. Like, I like that.
I love that.
Running feasibility spreadsheets that would work out what percentage return on cost it would get after everything. We'd be running scenarios all across Australia before we decided on Sunny Coast being a good spot. Yeah. It's interesting though, like there is very few places that give you that kind of return. You have to go find them. Like
you've got to find them.
In Adelaide at the time, I remember Hallett Cove, there was a possibility to get 18 to 20% on a duplex, and Mount Barker, again, it could have got 20%, but for us, we were looking for 30 plus. So, you know, we ended up here, and also the Olympic Games was a factor too.
It's easier to find your no's with these projects than your yeses. I think people go and try and find something that they want to work versus just going no, maybe.
Yeah. Like, I recently was running feasibilities in like Gympie and Nambour.
Trying to find another little Sunny Coast.
Trying to find another one after Palmwoods that Amy and I would do ourselves this time. But, you know, they were like 6%. Nambour was pretty bad. There was a block that I
haven't seen duplexes really work in Sunny Coast or Brisbane for 2.5 years personally.
Okay, yeah.
Like with the margin that you want.
Yeah.
30%.
The only place they're working is on the beach, I think. The high end, like ultra. But they're pretty much just a mansion, not a duplex. Like that's a 3 million budget minimum.
So you did this, you got your tax depreciation report, you sold the property after you got it strata titled, and then what did you and Amy decide to do post that?
We didn't sell it actually, we kept it.
Oh, sorry, one side.
We split.
Yeah,
we kind of sold it to each other.
Yeah.
After that, we got it strata titled. Then we thought we wanted to do our own duplex. So yeah, that's when I started researching Nambour, Gympie, trying to find the same thing. There was a block in Palmwoods that already had duplex approval in the same estate. Such a good deal. The timing was off. 3 months later, I could have got it. Could have repeated that project, and it would have been insane. But I missed out on that because it was the wrong timing. I couldn't buy the block by itself. I think it was 500 grand for a duplex approved site, which was very cheap.
Unbelievable.
It was 950 square meters as well. It's
No
good.
way.
Yeah, and anyway, we ended up finding, through some contacts that I've sort of maintained over the years, a duplex in a place called Burham Heads, which is in Harvey Bay, or north of Harvey Bay.
It's a beautiful spot, hey?
I don't know, I've never been there.
Yeah, I was up there recently in the caravan, and it's like actually nice.
Yeah, awesome. We're actually staying there tonight, so we'll go
cool.
check it out. But yeah, we've never seen that. Oh, by the way, with the Palm Woods one, we'd never seen the block either. We bought it sight unseen, which was also risky. We probably could have flown up or something, but yeah, we seemed confident in it all.
Did you come up pre or during construction, or just post when you?
I think we came up during once, and then post as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, and then we decided to do this Burham Heads one. On paper, it had like a 44% return on cost, which seemed unbelievable, like absolute unicorn.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty insane, and it's not really growing there right now, so we'll keep it. Should stay there. But yeah, that was what we're currently doing, and it's finishing this week, so it'll be done.
Wow.
It'll be done tomorrow, actually.
That's super exciting. So you'll actually be able to do handover.
Yeah, we'll do handover with the builder. Builder, again, Queensland builders, man, there must be something in the water. They're that good.
Yeah.
SA's taken like 10 months for a normal house. These guys are smashing out a duplex in 4.5 months, 5 months.
Queensland, they say, is the most Southeast Queensland competitive pound for pound building market in the country. Like there's more high quality, large and competitive builders than anywhere else in Australia, pound for pound.
Yeah, I'm finding that they're just really good.
Yeah.
I wish we had a few in Adelaide. They probably are, I just haven't found them yet. But yeah. So this build was, they gave themselves 5.9 months on contract.
Wow.
Anything after that, they pay you, which is ridiculous. I've never seen that in my life. And they ended up coming in at like 5.
Beautiful.
Which is super quick.
So did you go for quality again like you did at Palmwoods, or because of the nature of the suburb you pulled it back a little?
I pulled it back, and we kind of had to go with something that had already packaged.
Yeah.
I changed the colours and made it look like light and bright wood kind of vibe. But we couldn't bump up the quality too much because, the market isn't as expensive as Palmwoods.
Sure.
Had to try and meet it in the middle is a good spot. So we still did stone bench tops in the bathroom and kitchen, but we didn't have like skylights. We didn't have like 2.7 ceilings. We had 2.55 square edge, which still looked tall.
Square edge still looks good.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. Like I've done a lot of builds, and there's things that can make it feel in the premium category that are actually just mum and dad.
Yeah.
And then there's things that are just primo, and that you just have to wipe out sometimes.
Yeah. So we went for a sort of cheaper build there. Not that cheap, but yeah, sort of more to the market. It's more of like a small fishing town from what I hear. I'll find out tomorrow.
It's a pretty small fishing town. It's exactly what it is, but it is very cute, man. I can see the potential.
The land, for context, was 274 grand for 800 square meters dead flat.
Incredible, flood free.
And flood free, but it was a 30-second walk to a lake.
Wow.
So it's right there too. I'm like, this is really good.
So are you going to bother titling them straight away, or are you just going to sell one, keep both? What's the plan?
The plan's changing at the moment. We've always said we're going to sell one, keep one. But I think we might sell 2.
Okay.
Because I think that market's almost at the top, and then it will go flat for ages. And I just feel like I'll get frustrated if I'm sitting money in a flat market for 7 years or so. That's the prediction, I guess. So I'm thinking we might sell 2 and put that towards our own house, PPOR.
Love that. Would you go straight for that beautiful piece of land that you talked about, or is that sort of a stepping stone to grow towards that one?
Depends who you ask. If you ask Amy, maybe not straight for the land, but I don't know. For me, I'm like, we're going to have to pay like so much stamp duty, might as well just cop it now.
Yeah.
Also, we might wait until the Adelaide market corrects a decent amount in a GFC-like event and then go for it. It all depends what the owner wants to do, to be honest.
And how clean you get out of these Burham Heads deals as well in North Queensland.
Yeah, exactly. But in terms of like what's next for us, it'll be like, I've been researching all year rooming houses.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually since listening to when you guys had the Echo property group
Yeah,
on here.
yeah.
Since listening to that, be like, let me run these numbers.
Yep.
And it
The
was
cash
like,
flow can look phenomenal.
yeah, I think like they do 5-bed, 5-bath up in Queensland, and they were returning like 20 grand after principal and interest on 100% land,
Mm-hmm.
which is really nice. And then I was like researching across Australia, and then I was like, Melbourne, you can do a 9-bed, 9-bath. That seems interesting. Run the numbers on that, and it's like 55 grand for the same cost. I'm like, ooh,
wow.
bit enticing.
What type of cost to get into something like that are you looking at?
It's only 900 grand.
Okay.
No.
Most of the value of that is in the build, right? And the land would be cheaper?
Yeah, the land's pretty cheap. I'm looking at somewhere like Geelong or out of Melbourne or something like that, where you can get land. Well, I'm moving away from the build. I'm just going to do a conversion, I think.
Okay.
Because
buy home and convert.
buy like a really big family home and convert it. I want it to be massive, so each studio is big. So that's better, because a lot of banks have actually recently pulled out of the rooming house space because they were tying it together with NDIS policy.
Yeah.
And NDIS is not working for a lot of people.
Yeah,
so-
that is the current solar racket
Mm,
is NDIS, and at some point or another it's going to get much more regulated than it is. Like I was with a friend of mine and he earned $180,000
nice.
without a ticket in NDIS a few years ago.
Yeah.
Just working with the right types of clients, and he busted his ass off. He was doing huge hours, but I don't think like you should be able to do a 2-week course and be able to earn 180k per year. Like that seems like especially if it's government paying you.
And NDIS is like an overinflated market. There's lots of businesses springing up to meet that money.
Yeah.
Like that honeypot. It's just super risky doing NDIS. I was going to do it too.
Maybe
but then I researched
the very, very start of it, but you don't want to be in like 300 to 500 grand above neighbouring properties for something that is government backed that lasts another 2 to 3 years.
The problem is getting a tenant. The tenant might not get their funding approved, and then they have to move somewhere else, or it's just a bit too risky.
High risk, high reward. Like
Yeah.
I've got a client at the moment that we worked with recently, Dion. He's doing a couple of them.
Mm.
Both of them are over 100 grand a year based on his deposit, positive cash flow from day one.
Yeah, that's
Phenomenal,
insane.
with it all working out.
If it works out.
And it's also like he's prepared to stomach, well, if it doesn't work out, then you just put normal tenants in and it is what it is.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
But yeah, I go for quality. So what's your plan then? Like that sort of chasing something like that could be to general people like you and I at different stages of our life, rent by the room accommodation.
Yeah, it seems like it wouldn't work, but there's huge demand for it. Like if you're a single person, not married, and you want just something that you don't have to maintain, just a little like room, enough space for a little couch and TV and whatnot, kind of like a hotel room, I guess. But you just live there, you work your job, whatever.
Shared kitchens, like would you do a kitchen upstairs, kitchen downstairs, 2 main living spaces as well?
Nothing's shared actually. Each one will have its ensuite.
Okay.
And a little kitchenette, but there is one shared kitchen,
Yeah.
and that's it. But most people are just Ubering and buying out anyway. The target market for that is not necessarily students, it's more like nurses and doctors that are like having to go to the country to like do study and stuff.
It's more like short-term versus long-term boarding.
It's more like 6 to 12 months, yeah. And you just get like professionals that are young that want that cheap living. Like you're coming in at a price of $300 a week, including bills, which is pretty good for your own room with privacy and stuff.
So you're looking at 300 times 9 if you could get it in that way,
Yeah,
potentially. And
yeah.
I'm assuming there's a whole bunch of stuff that you've had to learn or learning about council-wise, because that's just not on every street in Victoria can you do something like this.
No, but they are very encouraging of it. In fact, you know how land tax is a big issue, or in the media in Queensland, in Victoria, they exempt these from land tax, which is quite interesting.
So they're trying to create some affordable housing down there.
Yeah, they're missing the bottom of the market. So I want to enter the bottom, but I want to enter the dirt bottom. It'll be like quite a nice, like beautiful looking furnished place.
Love that, bro.
So yeah, that's kind of the plan. And we've got a few property managers down there I'm comfortable to use. There's 3 options. So I've got plenty of choice, which is good
It's really
with
exciting.
experience. Yeah. So
And
yeah,
it's just like knowing that the management could be slightly higher, but the returns obviously significantly higher,
Yeah.
and then the turnover and the wear and tear is a little bit more, but that's cool. That's all just part of the business of what this
Yeah.
new thing is.
and it's like probably going to be a bit more stress to like you might have more issues with tenants and stuff, but
Great management.
great management was sorted out. And so to me, that's a unicorn, because if you could do it for, let's say, $1 million, I think based on my research, you could sell it for 1.4 straight away,
Yeah,
but no
based
one
on
sells
cash
it
flow
because it's a
return.
cash cow. But yeah,
So you potentially could get $2,000 a week in the hand after all of the costs on. So you spend $1 million, you're getting a 10% net return roughly.
yeah. If you had it in cash, if you do 100% lend, which is what I'll do, it's about 50 grand after all cost
Okay.
net. But also the tax depreciation you can do on it is insane. So I figured it all out after all the costs and stuff. You probably pay like, depends on the person, but like 5 grand out of that is tax.
Mhm.
So yeah, 45 grand net is pretty insane.
Incredible.
I probably shouldn't be telling everyone, but
Oh, it's good,
Yeah.
but people like new ideas, man. Like
Yeah.
there are ideas. Like I talk about things in the business, but then
Mm.
obviously like there's lots of other things that we're aware of. Like I went on a
Mm.
3-day tour in Brisbane, looking at exactly that product.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Just on buses with examples of people that were doing it in all sorts of different ways.
That would have been the 5-bed, 5-bath ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But some people
Mm.
were getting these duplex blocks and doing 2 of them side by side.
Oh,
with
yeah.
a shared central driveway with 3 stories
I've-
accommodation underneath them. There was some cool
Yeah.
stuff.
I've literally seen one of them sell in Brisbane. It's crazy. It's like, that's the ultimate unicorn. A duplex profit, 2 rooming houses, insane cash flow. It's like,
And opening up the duplex, the having it under. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
very clever. I was
Yeah.
like, wow, this thing's impressive. And
Mm.
the rooms were massive, and there were some cool breakout shared spaces, and it was fully beautifully furnished,
Mm.
and it was a affordable build that looked good, and I was like pretty interested in it.
Mm.
I ended up personally going in Queensland when everything was cheaper down the Airbnb route.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because the returns were similar, but it was,
Quicker.
one
and
tenant
stuff.
high
Mm.
over.
Yeah.
But now that the prices are so high, I find it's very difficult to make a lot of things that used to work 5 years ago work up here anymore.
Yeah. Well, I was chasing insane yield because we've got a big, like we've got the Mount Barker one, the Palmwoods one, and the Byram Heads duplex. So that's like 4, I guess, houses because one's a duplex. So we got plenty of exposure to the market rising, which is the quickest way to make money in property. But we wanted cash flow next, so that's why we're going down this route. And this is the best cash flow I've seen in terms of something that's actually going to work.
It's so exciting,
Mm.
man. Like maybe as this progresses and you get further into it, we can do it as a case study on the way through.
Yeah, hopefully a good case study. We'll see. Yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
So I'll round out because we'll be doing a whole lot more content together in the future. And another piece that we're going to actually film after this is just you use AI like no investor that I've ever. Actually, there's one other guy that I
Oh yeah, nice.
uses it very well too. But we're going to talk about like some of the things that you've learnt from that in another session that we do together shortly.
Sweet.
But what would you say to yourself? How many years you've been investing now?
It was 2020 when I started thinking about it.
Okay, so 5 years.
That Happy Valley mistake. Yeah.
What would you say to yourself? 5 years ago with where you're at today. Like, what have you learnt through that journey?
Just being very persistent and just like keeping on. If you stuff up, learn a lesson, just keep going because it works generally over time. And also like, yeah, I feel like things go quicker than you think. Like the right time at the right place can really work out if you just take the risk. That's what I think. Like taking the risk is okay if you do your research. Yeah.
Like turning that $3,000 into whatever.
Yeah.
Like I always look at the first $10,000 I put down on my very first property in Sydney. And I'm like, if I worked out that versus like where we've been able to get to over a 16-year period, it's phenomenal what time can do for your money.
Yeah.
With leverage and patience and taking calculated risk.
That's right. And like we got a pretty helping step because I didn't have any knowledge of the 18.6 year cycle or anything. Adelaide just happened to go from a 10-year flat to like 7 years of just insane. So we got in right there at the start.
You now understand like time in the market's good, but if you can time it too, that's crazy.
It's like a double whammy. And on a duplex where you've got 2 houses.
Yeah.
Riding a market, that's like the ultimate. But yeah, I don't know, like, also I've learned over this time to like be quite generous with the knowledge as well. Like, actually I learned it from you guys actually, like Simon, I think. He was, because I was saying like sometimes I would do all this research, like maybe 5,000 hours in like 2 years, let's say.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time and I enjoy it, but also like it's a lot of work too.
Yeah.
And
a lot of it's lonely work and deep work and cracking your brain work.
Yeah, cracking my brain, which I don't mind doing. It's very strategic stuff. But yeah, sometimes I would see people come along and just be like, just take the final golden nugget that
here's the suburb, here's the title
yeah,
block,
yeah.
here's the builder, here's
and
the planner.
And I'm like, I became more happy to like help people. I think I just had to learn like, I'm giving people a gift here, like it's helping them, which is awesome, and I want to help people. So I just had to sort of let go of my pride of like, you know, I've done this, you know, I'm so cool, whatever. So that's one of the good lessons that came along.
I remember having that same thing up until about property 3.
Yeah.
And then it's like, no one cares really what you're doing. And,
yeah, true.
And all you really want is people around you that are going to do well too, that you love. Like,
yeah,
the
exactly.
more of the people that you love around you. And then it's just like everyone else. It's like it changed from like just wanting to protect my family to the people that I care about to like,
that's true.
The better everyone does, the better the world will be. I think at the foundation of it all, the value of doing well is you get your time back and out of survival mode so that you can help more people become their best selves and be an example of the light in the world, which I think is what we're all created to be. I just think it's very difficult to express if you can't get out of your own way in that moment because you don't have enough, and so you're coming from a lack mentality.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Abundance. There's enough for everyone. Everyone can do this and do well. It's not like someone's going to come steal my block, you know. Like
well,
maybe they will.
They can't take the title.
Yeah.
like
maybe they try though.
The world's gone bad if people are taking people's titles.
Yeah, it's my land now. Yeah, exactly.
I'm really grateful, man. Like I'm just so thankful that you're in my life and for all the cool things that you've shared with me. Like it's exciting how obsessed you are and how early in your journey you are, because I can't wait to see what 5, 10, 15, 20 more years worth of time in this and who you're going to be able to help through it. It's going to do for you and your family and your friends and everyone listening to it and following it.
No, thank you, man. It's been awesome having you back there.
Awesome,
the once a year call.
Yeah, much more access now.
Yeah, exactly. Now sounds good.
Cheers, bro.
Thanks.
G'day guys, my name's Ben and I'm the director here at Pumped on Property, and I just wanted to say a massive thank you for watching our content today. Now, if you're thinking about buying an investment property in the next 3 to 12 months, then the team and I would love to offer you a one-on-one strategy session. In that session, we can talk about exactly where you are right now, where you'd like to be longer term, and we can deeply educate you on the Australian market. And then you can take that information and go and absolutely smash it on your own, or potentially become one of the small number of clients that we work with each week. To book your session, all you have to do is go to www.pumpedonproperty.com and click that book your free strategy session button. But either way, we wish you all the best on your journey as an investor to financial freedom.